right? In fact, in the earlier years also, we have followed this process. We let us spend some time for understanding how actually these results are obtained. So what we'll be doing basically manually, we'll be filling in this template. So what I'll do, I'll basically copy this and paste somewhere here. Okay. And then I'll be removing all these. We basically need to write down the formula and get it filled in. If what we have seen that once we do this, the fundamentals become very, very clear. How actually these results are obtained. And for that, what I will be doing now, I will be basically taking this data. Let us take it to a new worksheet. Okay. So data are here. Now I'm giving the sheet is name estimation. Okay, and this set is, I think, on results. Okay, so what we'll be doing today, we'll be basically trying to get these numbers as per this template very manually. And for that, we'll rely to a large extent on these two sheets, to these two slides. Okay, using these two slides, let us try to see how we can get these results. So again, I am suggesting you all to do this work parallelly. So let us name this variable as X and this variable as Y.
Sir, the GDP data that you took, like that is which GDP? Like GDP, like the
Constant
heading
price. GDP at constant
constant.
price.
Okay, okay.
If I just get back to the data, this is original data, right? I just, if you see, this is the GDP 475189, and if you see GDP at constant price, you see. Is it clear? You see, just verify this one and this one. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Hello. So we are taking basically both at constant price. And since you have raised this point, I'm just writing at constant price. Similarly, this one also at now, if you see this formula here, to compute beta hat, we require this expression. And for this expression, we need X bar and Y bar. So what we are doing, first we are computing. So I'll just insert one column here. This is basically average. So average of perhaps you know because you had a course on statistical software, particularly those who are in second year, those who are in third year. I don't know whether you are already acquainted with this. So you, even if it is done, maybe it is a repetition for you all, but to understand the process, let us do this. So this is average, okay, and then so I'm basically getting this as average of y, and I'll just drag it. This gives me average of x. Sorry, this is average of y and this is average of x. Now what I need to do first, small xi, that is equal to capital Xi minus x bar. Okay. So for that, it is this minus this, but since average is a given value, so we need to fix it by dollar. Using the dollar sign, we need to fix this cell because this average is constant for all the observations. So I have small xi, which is capital Xi minus x bar. In the same way, we'll be now getting small yi, okay, which is capital yi minus y bar. And for that, I just need to change the cell for what? Y bar. And this cell is basically, you see, ABC. Okay, let us see. This is to be changed as C. Done. So now I have Xi. Now I have yi. Right. Obviously, we will be copying this for all the observations. Now let us see this formula. What is this formula? It is basically summation of small xi into small yi divided by summation of small xi square. As I told you the other day, when I say small xi, it is basically deviation from mean. Same is true for small yi. So actually the formula is small xi into small yi summation divided by summation of small xi square. So what we need here, basically small xi into small yi. That is basically this into this. Okay. And then small xi square that we need. So xi square, which is equal to this, then square. Same is small yi square also we need, even if it is not there in the formula, we need it for a different purpose. So this is equal to this. Just check. So this is xi minus x bar. This is xi, then minus x bar. We have fixed it by dollar. This is yi minus y bar. This is xi into yi. This is xi square. This is yi square. I'll just copy everything. And then we'll take the summation. So summation of, you know, this summation will be 0, summation of xi minus x bar. This is not required, but still just to show you, I'm just doing this. This summation would be 0. This summation will also be 0. It is very close to 0, maybe because of approximation. And then I'm basically interested about these 3. I'm basically interested about these 3 summations. What we'll be using to get the results. Okay. Now, what we are getting first is beta hat and this is equal to what? Summation of xi into yi, small xi into small yi divided by summation of small xi square. So this divided by, because this is summation of small xi into yi and this is summation of small xi square. And this is what we are getting as beta hat. Let us see in the result sheet. So what I'm doing, this beta hat means this one. This is basically beta hat. Okay. And this will be equal to basically this one. So I am taking result from there to this sheet and let us match it. You see, Excel had given me this. You see what I am getting. So I have got now the beta coefficient. And for that, I'm basically using this formula. Now I need to get alpha hat, and this is the formula, y bar minus beta hat x bar. So what I'll be doing here, okay, let me do it, then I'll take the result to that. Alpha hat. What is that? Y bar. And what is your y bar? This is y bar minus beta hat, and this is beta hat into x bar. This is what we are getting as alpha hat. Let us see. So alpha hat is nothing but this one. And is it matching? See, it is exactly matching, you see. So we have got both alpha hat and beta hat. So this is alpha hat. Okay. Now, what we need to get is, basically, let us first do this one. Multiple R. Now for a bivariate regression model, this multiple R is nothing but the correlation coefficient between X and Y. Remember, this is for bivariate model. Actually, multiple R refers to the correlation between Y and Y hat. So I can write, this is basically correlation of Y and Y hat. For a bivariate model, this is also, I'll prove it mathematically later on. For a bivariate model, this is also equal to the correlation coefficient between X and Y. Now, what is the formula for correlation coefficient? Can you tell me? What is the formula for correlation coefficient? Hello?
Covariance by standard deviation of both. No?
Right. So can't we use this result? This divided by n is nothing but covariance. Am I right? Because this is summation of small xi into small yi, isn't it? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So this no need to divide by n because both numerator and denominator we need to divide by n, so it will automatically be cancelled out. So this divided by square root of this, because this is summation of small xi square, means summation of capital Xi minus capital X bar whole square. This is similarly for y. So we don't need to divide by n because both numerator and denominator we need to divide by n, so it would be cancelled out, but we need to make a square root. So power 0.5. So this is done for the denominator.
So why are you finding this out? Like, why are we finding out the correlation?
I'm telling no, this multiple r is the correlation between y and y hat, and for a bivariate model, this is nothing but the correlation coefficient between x and y. Are you getting? Hello?
Okay.
See, in this table we have multiple r. You might have done regression analysis earlier by using Excel, but have you ever thought of, I mean, what does it represent, this multiple r? Did you know earlier that this multiple r is nothing but the correlation coefficient between y and y hat, or the correlation coefficient between x and y for a bivariate model? This is a bivariate model because here we have only one independent variable. So this correlation coefficient here, this will basically represent this multiple r. So now see, this is the multiple r and this is multiple r. I don't know who had asked this question. Is it matching now?
Okay, so understood.
Okay. For a bivariate model, it is the correlation between x and y. But actually multiple r is nothing but the correlation between y and y hat. I'll be proving that also. By definition, multiple r is nothing but the correlation coefficient between y and y hat, as I have written here. But for a bivariate model, this is also equal to the correlation between x and y. I'll be using the other formula and then I'll be showing you, I mean, how it is coming. Now, what is this r square? What is this r square? If you see this formula here, I have written down r square is equal to explained sum of square divided by total sum of square. But at the same time, this r square is nothing but, very interestingly, square of this multiple r. So if I just make a square of this multiple r, I'll get r square. This is r square and you see. So this r square is basically square multiple r. But again, as I said, I'll be using the other formula also. Now let us use the other formula. what is explained sum of square? Theoretically, we'll be discussing this thing later on in the class. How am I saying this? But for the time being, you just remember ESS explained sum of square is equal to this beta hat square, okay, multiply this with summation of small xi square, which is nothing but, I think, this one. This is explained sum of square, which is also known as regression sum of square. The formula is beta hat square. If you have notebook, please write it down. Beta hat square into summation of small xi square. Now, if I do this, let us see what we are getting. This is what we are getting as explained sum of square or regression sum of square. Now, if I just get back to this result sheet, this is what this is supposed to be. Regression sum of square. This is basically regression sum of square, and this regression sum of square or explained sum of square is nothing but this one. Let us see if it is matching. You see, I think I just need to, if I just squeeze it, yeah. Is it matching? You see, this is sum of square, this is what sum of square. Now, what is total sum of square? Total sum of square, if you see, total sum of square is nothing but this, which is nothing but summation of small yi square. Total sum of square is nothing but summation of capital yi minus y bar square, which is nothing but summation of small yi square. And for that, what I need to do basically, okay, I'll just, because we are writing here also, I'll first write it here. So this is nothing but summation of small yi square, which is nothing but this. Okay, so I'll make it equal to this one. You see, again, this is matching this one. And the residual sum of square is nothing but the difference between the two. So residual sum of square, RSS, is nothing but total sum of square minus explained sum of square. So this residual sum of square is basically equal to this one. See, just verify this. Okay. Is it clear up to this point? Is it clear?
Sir,
So
Could you just go to that explain sum of squares once more, sir?
Okay, I'm just getting into this formula. Total
So
sum
that
of
ESS you told is beta hat square into summation of xi square, right?
right, but
Sir,
here
but
it is written differently, right?
yes, sir, like because summation of xi square is 0.
Why? Summation of xi is 0,
Oh,
not
yes, sir,
summation of
right,
xi
right.
square.
Yes, sir, yes.
You see summation of xi square here. This is summation of xi square. This is not 0, but this is 0. Summation of xi is 0. But you have raised a very important question actually. How am I writing this as beta hat square into summation of small xi square? Right? I mean, how
Yes,
am I
sir.
writing this as that? In fact, both are same. I am deriving beta hat square into summation of small xi square basically from this formula. If you all have notebook open, just write what is summation, what is y hat I? What is y hat I? Tell me. What is y hat I?
Alpha hat plus beta hat into xi.
Very good. What is y bar?
Alpha hat
Yesterday we
plus
had proved.
alpha
Remember,
hat
y
plus
bar
beta hat
means
x
y hat
bar.
bar. Yesterday we had proved no, y bar means y hat bar.
Yes,
Right?
sir. Yes, sir.
So this can be written as y hat bar also. This one. Now what is y hat bar?
Alpha hat plus beta hat x bar.
Just subtract this from the earlier one. Then what are you getting?
Beta hat into xi minus x bar.
Whole square.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? So take out beta from summation. Beta hat. So it will be beta hat square. Isn't it?
Yes,
So
sir.
you'll be proving
Yes, sir.
this in class, right? In theory class.
I'll discuss it.
Okay, sir.
No, I'll give you the exact derivation in the class. But again, I am saying this is basically like this. Okay, I'll just open one Word document and I'll just show. Because there shouldn't be this confusion. What you asked, it's a very, very fundamental question, in fact, that how I am writing this. Just let me see if, yeah. Is it visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me make it 14. What I'm writing, y hat is equal to, say, alpha plus into x, right? All are having I, this one and this one. Okay. Similarly, y hat bar is equal to alpha hat, beta hat, x bar. Now, if you just subtract, so y hat I minus y hat bar, what is this? This is equal to this alpha hat will be cancelled out, isn't it? Alpha hat will be cancelled out. So basically what I'm getting, beta hat xi minus x bar. Now, if you make a square of this, then I'll make a square of this also. Am I right? Then you take the summation. As you take the summation, this beta hat will come out of the summation as beta hat square, and then it will be summation of xi minus x bar square. What I am writing as summation of small xi square. So it is beta hat square into summation of small xi square. Isn't it? Is it clear now? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But again, in the class, I have already started writing it down. I'll be sharing with you all. I have written down all the formulas and derivations in detail. In fact, somebody asked me yesterday, that's again a very important question, that how am I writing yi and yj to be independent? I have already written down the derivation. So these are what we'll be discussing in the theory class. But again, this is what I'm saying. And then I'm just taking out beta hat square out of the summation, and it is resulting in basically beta hat square summation of small xi square. Okay. Now, given this, just let me get back to this. Yeah. So what we'll get as r square? R square is equal to this ESS divided by TSS. This is what we have written in this formula. See, ESS by TSS. And if I just get back to this, this is what I am getting. Let us see what we had got from the other formula. I'm just making it equal to this one. Are not we getting the same thing? So whether you make it square, this multiple R, or
So
you
can
write
you
it
repeat?
as, sorry.
So can you repeat what was that multiple R? I didn't understand.
Multiple R is the correlation coefficient between y and y hat, right?
Okay.
See,
Okay,
what
sir.
is y? Y is the original observed y,
Yes,
and
sir.
y hat is estimated y.
Yes, sir.
If you take the correlation coefficient between the two, then what you will get, that is called multiple R.
Right. Yes, sir. Got it.
What is the interpretation of it? The interpretation is
How good the regression is.
exactly how the estimated values are close to the observed values. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So higher the value of the multiple R, obviously better is the fit. Now, what is R square? R square is a very important indicator in regression analysis. As you rightly said, this R square also represents how good the fit is. Again, it is said, higher the value of R square, better is the fit. And as I said, this R square is nothing but the square of this multiple R. If you make a square of this multiple R, you will be getting this R square. And this R square can also be obtained as the ratio of this regression or explained sum of square divided by the total sum of square. This is what I have tried to get it. You see here what I have done. This is explained sum of square or regression sum of square. This is total sum of square. I have taken a ratio of the two. You see it is L5 by L6 and this is what R square value I am getting, which is nothing but what the software gives straightway. So this R square is obtained or it can be obtained either by squaring this multiple R or by taking a ratio of explained sum of square to total sum of square. Is it clear? Tell me. I am not interested to proceed until unless all of you understand.
Yes, sir. R square part is clear, but here multiple R is correlation between y and y hat. But in the like calculation, you have taken it correlation of x and y.
Excellent question. Very good question, in fact. That's what I said. If you can recall, for a bivariate model, again, I don't have the scope to do the derivation in this lab class. I'll be doing that in the theory class. For a bivariate model, the correlation coefficient between y and y hat is nothing but the correlation coefficient between x and y.
Yes, sir. Got it. Because y hat is directly like it is a linear function of y x.
Exactly. Very good answer. Actually, y hat is a linear transformation of x. Isn't it? Y hat is a linear transformation of x.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Where the origin is changed by what? Origin of x is changed by what?
Alpha.
Alpha hat. Y hat we are saying, no?
Yes, sir. Alpha hat.
So origin of x is changed by alpha hat and the scale of x is changed by beta hat. And you know that in this case the correlation coefficient will remain the same. But again, there is a mathematical derivation. We will be doing that in the theory class. But now I think you have got the logic behind why we are saying that the correlation coefficient between y and y hat is nothing but the correlation coefficient between x and y for a bivariate model. The reason is that y hat is nothing but a linear transformation of x, where origin of x is changed by alpha hat and its scale is changed by beta hat. And you know that in this case the correlation coefficient will remain the same.
So just one more question. Here we are saying that multiple R is a measure of how good our regression is. That means we are basically saying that if the correlation between y and y hat is higher, that means our model is better, right?
Means your estimated y is very close to the observed y.
So, but how did they decide that we have to look at the correlation only? Like, why not just difference or something like
No,
that?
this is just a starting point. See, we are not saying that based on that only we'll be concluding it. This is just a symptom, I would say. Are you getting my point? I will be showing you subsequently different results where you will say that a model is very good, but R square value is low. In fact, it is written in the book. For a model to be accepted and to go ahead, it is not necessary that R square value should be very high. At the same time, a model with low R square value doesn't necessarily mean that it should be discarded. Are you getting my point? Hello?
Okay, so this is just one of the
This
tests.
is just a signal. See, subsequently I will be showing, and in fact, in different years I have put this question. What you are asking, I have put questions in the exams in the similar lines, like say, suppose a model is statistically significant, but R square value is low. How is it possible? Or whether you can go ahead with such results. And let me tell you one thing. In a multiple regression model, actually a very high R square is a matter of concern. Perhaps I talked about this in one of the classes in the very first week. A very high R square value may be a matter of concern when R square value is very high, but hardly any individual coefficient is statistically significant. Actually, this signals problem of multiplicity. Are you getting? I don't know who asked this question. Who asked this question?
Abhinav, sir.
Okay, Abhinav. This is actually the point here is that R square value, we take it just as the starting point, just to have a signal. Again, we are not ignoring the importance of R square as a measure of goodness of fit, but as you rightly pointed out, we will not judge the validity of a model solely on the basis of R square.
Sir, what did you say?
Neither will discard a model if R square value is very low. There will be many other issues subsequently we'll be discussing. Yeah, please.
Sir, can you just repeat what you said? So if you said that if there is a high R square, but there is no statistically significant coefficient, it indicates a problem of what? I couldn't catch it.
It basically indicates the problem of multicollinearity. Multicollinearity means very high degree of correlation among the independent variables, among the explanatory variables. Suppose in a model you have dependent variable y and many independent variables as, okay, just 1 minute, somebody has a comment. Surely, Shaurya, we'll do that. We'll do that. Today, basically, what we are doing, because this is a lab class, we are not getting into the concepts in detail.
Sir, 1 second. It's your class. I don't want to sound rude, but it's your class, so you can do whatever you want. So please do the theory first, because you're talking about ESS, R square, and all that, and we haven't done it. So it's just we are implementing it, but we're not understanding anything. If we know the theory, we can implement it on our own without having to struggle so much in the class.
No, but this is a lab class, no? So what do you suggest?
You are the professor, no? So you can convert it into theory for 1-2 weeks until we have a strong base, and then we can start implementing. If we're just implementing, then what are we doing? We don't know what we are doing.
So you couldn't get it. So
no, sir. Like we are able to understand the mathematics about it, but we are not able to feel